He Wants It That Way by the Back Alley Boys has been playing on this radio non-stop for the past 24 hours.
So, is this what a college graduate does? Spend hundreds of thousands of his mother's hard-earned money to lounge around all day? It's already 2 p.m. Don't you think you should be getting out of bed?
Just, can you keep it down, please? I had a rough night. Can't get that video out of my head.
Yeah, he says he can't get that video out of his head, not that he can't get what he experienced out of his head.
Alex, can I ask you a serious question?
Do you have to? It's too early for serious questions.
That doesn't work with me. I'm not your mommy. I don't let you get away with letting things slide.
Okay, fine. What is it then?
Why didn't you go back and look for her after she vanished from the elevator? Why did you run straight home?
First of all, I didn't run straight home, and secondly, I tried going back in to see if I missed any treasure chests, and the window was literally boarded up.
If you had seen her being pulled out of the elevator, you'd have known she was gone for good, too. And besides, it's...
Yeah, she was skeletonized.
You're forgetting that I was there. I saw it too, and I get it. You're scared, right? So you ran home. I understand. But maybe when you've mustered up some courage, you can put on your big boy pants and see if you can find her.
Yeah, maybe.
Now get yourself out of bed. Take a shower. You smell terrible.
I knew he was right. I couldn't let myself live with the guilt of not going back to look for her.
Yeah, sometimes self-care is berating yourself into doing basic self-care acts.
Why did I run away? Why did I just stand there and let her get pulled into what? What exactly had she been pulled into? Just the thought of going back to the factory made my stomach tighten. But if I didn't go back, I knew I'd never be able to live with myself. I think there was a part of me that didn't believe what my eyes had seen. That I was missing something. Some vital piece of information that slipped my mind. The whole thing could be explained logically.
Oh.
We are inside a room. We can tell from the decorations on the wall that it is a female's room. The unremarkable but adequate lighting reveals to us that there is someone in the room, although who is not yet clear to us or the others in the room. The expressionless decor.
So every single one of these dudes in hoods is like supposedly an alternate Alex.
There is something inhuman about the layout and decorations. We get the impression that the room is a parody of a human woman's room. With a quick survey of the interior, our eyes come to rest on a figure unconsciously placed inside the bed. We know from her plastic finish that she is both unconscious from a lack of humanity inside of her vessel.
Shut the hell up, a lack of humanity inside of her vessel.
The low electric hum of the room detracts from the music playing at a low level from a record player in the corner of the room. As we observe the motionless figure, we gradually come to sense that she isn't well, that she is broken in some way. We feel compelled to refer to the figure in the bed as a woman. However,
oh shit, that's actually really creepy.
Holds our words. We bring the camera closer to her face, and
so if you believe Alex that this entire thing is just like a message he's receiving to manipulate him,
the most profound solemnance. We confer with each other and come to an agreement.
Okay, so let's review. You met a girl in an old factory and she vanishes within an hour of you meeting her. Now, with a new sense of bravery, you're running off to the last location you saw her to try and track her down.
Exactly.
Sounds good to me. I like this Alex with a sense of purpose. Now, if only you could get out of bed before 2 p.m.
Oh? Another spooky phone call?
song stuck in my head. It just won't go away. Did you ever get that? I think they call it an earworm or whatever. But this isn't really the catchy kind of song. This is that old sort of thing. It's pretty good, but some of the lyrics are a bit weird. How do they go again?
I think you have the wrong number.
Oh, sorry.
This used to be his dad's dresser. Huh. Can't look at any of these pictures. He just stole $20 from his parents' room. I made him do it, but he still makes him a shithead. Okay, let's see if there's anything new on the website. Oh, there is more. Elevator girl. Reaction none. Sammy Pak, 21, missing and a thief. She stole my heart. What the creep? Insert missing woman poster. Interestingly enough, I saw this missing persons ad this morning. I scanned it in. Sorry for the potato quality. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure you mofos will surely do so. But is this not the Asian girl from the elevator video? What the Dim Thorny! They all look the same, so I can't be certain? What the fuck, dude? Vivid appears. Same glasses, same hair. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's her. So now we know her age, her weight. Any other details? Where was this printed? Where'd you find it? Seriously, don't just post this without the backstory. Reaction none. My bad, we have a newspaper in my town, the Frankview Daily Journal, and they were inserted into all the papers. Basically, that's the entire story. I woke up, went to work at the 777, opened up a paper, and this beauty fell out. Why? They're all so fucking creepy. Where's necessity? I overcame my social awkwardness and called the number. This is what I found out. She was an intern or some low-level employee at a Korean news network. She recently relocated to Easton to work there. She English is great, but yours isn't. But she wasn't born here. She went to international school of some sort and moved to the USA in 1992. She's been missing since April 4th. As far as I can tell, though, the thick accent of the guy who answered the phone, she's at her second day of work when she disappeared. I asked him about the video, and he didn't know anything about it. I had money on her being Chinese. Something smells fishy. No, you're just terrible at identifying people, and also you're a shithead? 8 Mallet. So let's get this straight. She goes to work and vanished. That's it? Does anyone know if she got to work? Was she out on an errand? Come the fuck on, Bears Necessity. There has to be more to the story than that. I AOL'd her name. All I find is Onism posts. Bears Necessity. Call the number yourself if you don't believe me, asshole. Reliable false. Well, as 8 Mallet has obviously bitched out now and called them. What? Well, as 8 Mallet has obviously bitched out and now called them, but I did. And what Bears says seems to be pretty on point. She left for work, got to work, and somewhere in the middle of the day, people realized she wasn't at her desk. They figured she left during lunch and never came back. Anyone here speak Korean and feel like giving her work a call? Apparently she worked for the KNN. It literally stands for Korean News Network. Creative, right? Oh, I was right. I'm gonna ask this kid at school to see if he'll do it. I'm pretty sure he's Korean, but he's kind of awkward. Let us know what happens. Any update on this? No go. He said no. Yeah, I can't imagine why. I'm new to Onism, and I'm pretty surprised by some of the stuff on here. A friend of mine asked me to look at this and see if I could help. I called KNN and no one would talk to me. They said that if I had any information about Semi-Pack to call the hotline that her uncle set up, so I called him and found out a little bit more about her. Apparently she's a huge dog lover, that she has a dog named Ernst. That's not what we saw. Anyway, her position at the KNN was basically clerical. Clerical. Apparently, her mom is really ill. Oh. Bears necessity. So let's take this from the beginning. Semi-Pack gets a job at KNN in Easton, works there for 2 days. Somewhere on her second day, she disappeared, and people think she quit on her lunch break. And she has a dog named Ernst. Great, mystery solved. Onism, we did it. Reaction nod. We need to see if we can find a way to get people at KNN to tell us what they say in and out of the building. We need to find a way to get people at KNN to tell us what they say that day. Did anyone eat lunch with her? Is there a log of who comes in and out of the building? Clearly, there has to be some sort of details as to where that elevator video was filmed. First things first, does anyone know how many floors the KNN building is? Is it possible that it was filmed there? Since we know for a fact she made it to work on April 4th, my money is on the video being filmed there. Imperfect Pickle. Any chance you can call them again and ask how many floors their building has, or even if it has an elevator? Imperfect Picket. Imperfect Picket? Super Pudding. Bueller. Oh, that person is supposedly Semi. She's quoting Ferris Bueller's Day Off, specifically Ben Stein. Bears necessity. Typical Onism users. Makes a compelling post, then disappears. I called KNN myself. No one wanted to talk to me, so I looked up the address and found out that there is a toy store across from KNN. I called the toy store and they said that KNN is only bi-level, so it leaves me wondering if they'd have an elevator at all. Bears necessity makes an interesting point about whether or not there is an elevator or not in a bi-level building, and the answer, of course, is yes. You can't run an S-Class corporation in the US and not have a wheelchair-accessible floors, so even if the video wasn't taken at the KNN, they likely do have an elevator because of the Americas with Disabilities Act or whatever. Lastly, look closely at the video. There is clearly more than 2 floor options. If it was at KNN, there would only be a first and second floor button, maybe a B1. But there are at least 6 floor buttons in this video, so I think we can rule out the KNN building as the filming location for the video. Bare necessity. Great points. Okay, so if it's not the KNN building, are there any other locations within walking or taxi that she could be in? I wish we knew what time she left the KNN building. The timestamp on the video is nonsensical, so that doesn't even help us. I have no idea what it's counting. Seconds, days, years? Why are there so many digits? I am the elevator girl, Semi-Pak. Superb Pudding. My mother's name is Kyung Soo, and she is mentally handicapped. She suffers from bipolar disorder, and shows signs of being schizophrenic, and has been very difficult to live with. When I was born, my father worked his hardest to give me a normal life, even without a normal mom, and when I was 6, he left us because it was too much for him. I had a younger brother, but he died in his crib. After that, Mom went even further off the deep end. Finally, my uncle insisted we put her in a home. Doing so was the hardest thing I ever did. I took a job at KNN after my friend Sang Chui recommended me for an entry-level position. I took it and got a small apartment in Easton. After one day there, I felt something growing inside of me that I've been worrying about. Voices bouncing around inside my head like ping-pong balls. I left work and returned to my apartment. My roommate was angry at me because apparently I had put 9-volt batteries into his soup that morning. We got into a huge fight. It was so loud between our yelling and the sound of the voices in my head that I got back into the elevator. I do not want to be found. Please stop looking for me, semi-human. Okay. That would track with her previous behavior. Pronunciation of Semi-Pack. Colossal Bind. So does anyone know how the hell you say Elevator Girl's name? Annual Headed. Pak. Kinda sounds like Park, but the K gets really quiet, I think. Went to high school with a Pak, and she said it like Park. Imperfect Picket. Semi is probably supposed to be said like Sem-E. Probably why she goes by Sammy. A lot of people with quote-unquote weird foreign names usually try to make them sound normal. Wow, what a shithead. So yeah, most of the online discussion is just obsessing over her and not really, like, as a human being either, but like as a puzzle box.